Well, as those of you who pay attention to my Instagram account know, and if you don't, I suggest you subscribe right away or follow right away or whatever people do on there. You'll see the name below, so you can check that out along with the Facebook group. We see a couple of duplications, mostly duplications actually, but if you prefer one platform or the other, you should. So anyone who actually follows either or both of those knows that after 137 hours, excuse me, the fast ended. That was around 1:15 Mountain Time on Monday. So it's been a couple of days. It wasn't that I couldn't have gone longer. In fact, I know I could have, but my friend who lives in Michigan and was working with me on this fast and I decided that we had accomplished what we wanted to accomplish this time around. I needed to break through the hunger barrier, the hunger frontier, to a place I've only been once before. And that happened, and my friend needed to discover that that was possible because he's heard about it, he's read about it, I've told him about it, he believes me, but he hasn't experienced it himself. So now he has, and we can go on to make plans for future challenges, both individually and together. Now, I want to talk to you about some of the things that I've got planned in the coming weeks and months because the journey has not ended. It has begun. As I mentioned in an earlier video, I used to fast fairly regularly, and after some fairly major life events that were not so pleasant earlier this year that have turned out good, but at first they were pretty catastrophic, and some pretty cool world travel that I didn't want to fast through because I wanted to enjoy the entirety of the experience. I sort of fell off the bandwagon, and I needed the not very populated bandwagon, the one or two people bandwagon. In any case, I fell off, and it's been several months, and the time had come for me to begin working with this tool of transformation and awareness again. But first, what did I break that fast with? Well, it was delicious, I'll tell you that. I cracked probably 5 eggs, scrambled those up with a variety of delicious vegetables. I almost wish I'd have taken a picture. There was corn and little cherry tomatoes and green peppers and mushrooms and onions and habaneros and garlic and scallions and broccoli. And it was delicious spinach and queso fresco. That was a nice omelet. I made up some arepas, a grilled cornflour cake with a little mozzarella on top. And before all that, I had a glass of sweetened iced tea, which was absolutely delicious. I wanted to make sure that I ended the fast with something delicious, but also quality and nutritious. My body had been without anything but black coffee and water for 137 hours, 5 3/4 days. It needed good stuff, and it got it. So that was fun. It was good. It was very enjoyable, and I feel healthy having done that. Now, then there was also a little Ben & Jerry's involved, which probably wasn't as healthy. No probably about it, it wasn't. But it was good, and it doesn't happen that often. So I think it was okay. Now, moving forward, I've got some ideas. I probably won't do another really long fast until, the next month or two, somewhere in there. But as I said, the journey hasn't ended, it's begun again. So, what to do in the interim? Well, I will still fast. I'll do some smaller long fasts. I plan to do some intermittent fasting. So, every day, I would like to eat only between the hours of 12 noon and 8 p.m. In addition to that, every week or two, starting Thursday night at 8 p.m. and going on through Friday, through Saturday and into Sunday at noon, doing a mini extended fast. That'll keep my body in fasting shape. Unfortunately, that will not get me past the fun stage before breaking through that hunger barrier. But it will keep me in shape when it comes to fasting. And speaking of keeping in shape, or should we say getting in shape, I also plan to work on becoming more physically well, to better accommodate such lengthy fasts as 5 or 7 days. My friend in Michigan and I have decided we'd like to do several week-long fasts, perhaps as regularly as once a month, with several objectives in mind. And so we will see what happens there and what challenges we decide to add to those to make them varied and more interesting. I also plan to go through this book, I mentioned it before, The Complete Guide to Fasting by Dr. Jason Fung and Jimmy Moore, and it covers a plethora of information about fasting. The history, myths, advantages, reasons, hunger, types of fasting, protocol for different lengths of fasting, and some really delightful recipes for when you end your fast. So we'll go over some of the stuff in here, and hopefully we'll find that interesting. I already have, and I've gotten through 9 pages, so more to come on that. I will continue to post videos regarding fasting, at least on fast days, so at least a couple or 3 times a week, and hopefully more as time permits and as I can make time, because I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing the experience, and I enjoy knowing that others have an interest in it. So I will cater to that as best I can. Give me some ideas to work with. If you have questions, specific questions, concerns, threats, ridicule, whatever, please use that comment field. It was put there for a reason, and I haven't disabled it. So I would love to hear your thoughts, concerns, questions, suggestions. And if you have some experience fasting, share that. As always, you bear responsibility for what you do. I will discourage it in your case unless you've talked to a medical doctor and you've done some serious thinking about what you want to accomplish. It makes for a good challenge, but you shouldn't undertake it just for that reason. I don't think. So if you decide to, you do it under your own research, after consulting with your doctor. Of course, you and you alone you can make that decision, and only you can bear responsibility for a decision to do so. Just like I do. You know, I've talked to a doctor. He's given me some insights. He does not agree with some of what I've done already and what I plan to do going forward, and I'll have to deal with what happens if anything adverse occurs, and I feel willing to do that. So just some food for thought. As always, also, best way to keep abreast of news, insights, and information, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and do that. Like the video, share, because other people might find it interesting, might find it entertaining, and hopefully find it a little of both. I hope that will continue to hold true. Now, everything we do on this channel, one way or another, connects back to the main idea of self-transformation. Mysterious self-transformation. It gets into the unknowns of the self primarily, whereby we can transform ourselves and our surroundings. Fasting fits that very well, and so do many other things that we have discussed or will discuss going forward. Most prominently, you'll see tarot on my page. It may not seem like it relates very well to fasting, and on the surface it doesn't, but as a tool for self-awareness, insight, and transformation, they can work together. So subscribe so you can see updates on all those subjects, and more to come. I look forward to the next time. Until then, keep transforming, friends.